on the road. We're not very far down the road. We are about to take the interchange where Interstate 76 and Interstate 80 meets, going westbound. And we're set to be over at our destination at about 2 in the afternoon. Last night was pretty alright. Didn't get super cold. As a matter of fact, it was really nice. I actually left the back window cracked open just a little bit throughout the night. Had some good food. Got a lot of sleep. Which, as I'll tell you what, sleep is underrated. You need sleep, especially in this line of work. You need sleep. So I don't know where we're going after we deliver this. That's still being worked on right now. But we're gonna hit this toll here and hop on to 80, and we'll catch you guys here in a little bit. Dropping off the that loaded trailer at our customer out here in Lansing. Also just picked up an empty, and we're going to take that over to Coldwater. Grab a load of, I think, pork, something like that. And we're going to take that over to Northlake, Illinois, which is, the location is actually like right off of 294, like right off the side of 294. Been there once before. It's a little bit of a tighter place to go, but yeah, it's really not. It's not a bad place. I love the pickup. Their pickups there are great. So, but we've got to drive about 7 miles here or so to fill up this reefer. It's got 3/4 of a tank, but I like to bring them in there. I wish you guys could have seen that. There was a guy that just did an illegal U-turn right at like a 4-5 lane intersection. That was fantastic. That was cool. Anyways, we got to top off the truck. Truck's sitting at around just over a 1/4 tank. But since this pickup, or since the people at this pickup are really, really nice, and they're absolutely awesome to work with, I usually try to keep it on the best terms possible. So, don't bring in trailers that are halfway full or maybe just barely. Or maybe just barely full, or just barely at we'll pick it back up once we hit the Pilot. Truck's topped off with diesel, put about 182 gallons in, and now we are making our way over to Coldwater eventually here. A lot of traffic today. Yep, 182 gallons, and of course I use Pilot Flying J, so I got a lot of points for that one. They're up to like 3.5 points per gallon, something like that. I double check. But that also, I believe, put me into shower power for next month. So I think that, personally, I think that out of all the reward systems that are offered through truck stops, I think Pilot has the best. There was a time where I was using TA and Loves, but I don't remember their point system being as good. I know that Pilot, you end up getting modifiers or like multipliers of your points. So after every qualifying fill up, you go up half a point. So you start off at 1 point per gallon, 1.5, 2, 2.5, so on and so forth. But I do believe that Pilot does have the best point system. However, Loves has the best amenities. I think on average, Loves is far nicer than Pilot Flying J, but it's not like it's a difference between, you know, an outhouse and a 5-star hotel. You know, it's most of the Pilot Flying J's are still very, very nice, very nice. I don't think there's ever really been a Pilot that I've walked into and immediately walked out of and said, this is too disgusting or too gross. Nothing like that. So yeah, it's sorry about that. There was a interaction happening next to me that was, everybody's on something today. Everybody's on something. Whatever it is, it looks like fun. So yeah, most Pilot Flying J's are still very nice. I've only walked into one TA and immediately walked out of, and that was out in Baltimore. That one was pretty awful. I mean, we're talking like very bad. It's built into what used to be an old hotel, I'm assuming, but it is just straight garbage. I mean, that place is sketchy. If there was ever a place you were gonna get stabbed in the middle of the night, it was that place. It also didn't help that it was built across the freeway from a federal penitentiary, so. Well, aside from that, I've never had a bad experience with Pilot's amenities. They're perfectly fine. I guess if you wanted to feel a bit bougie or a bit more taken care of, if you will, Loves on average typically tend to be better, but Loves parking there's also less Loves parking, or less parking at Loves than at most Pilot Flying J's. Most Pilot Flying J's have a good bit of parking. Loves typically tends to be a bit harder. Petros are usually pretty big. I've been to several Petros and they're not terrible. I'd rank them lower than Pilot Flying J on average. TA would go above Petro, and then Flying J above the TA, Pilot above the Flying, Pilot above Flying J, and then the best one would be Love's. I'm sure you got, other mom and pop places where you can get showers, that type of thing. I guess it's each their own. I don't personally have a problem with Pilots, not even in the slightest. I love my Pilots. Pilot has some of the best food, some of the best coffee. Granted, TAs typically tend to have more restaurants inside of them. Some of them will have like Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, that type of thing. And I think TAs sometimes stock more, etc. Like more accessories, truck related stuff. A lot of it's like, I don't know, televised crap. It's just as seen on TV, it's garbage. But when it comes to actual like usable equipment, it's kind of hard to say. But we'll end up talking more about the good pilots, the bad pilots, as I continue to make videos. But I had to find a talking point for today. That being said, the current load that I'll have at the top of the screen is going to be Coldwater, Michigan to Northlake, Illinois, and I'll put up the mileage of that one way. And that'll offload at 10 a.m. and we'll probably pick up another load and be back home Friday night, if I had to guess. So, I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to stay yet. I'll have to run mileage when I get to Coldwater. Right now I've got about just under 5.5 hours on my clock that I can drive. Worst case scenario, I might just pull over at Lake Station, Indiana. That one's another great Pilot. They just remodeled the inside of it. Very nice, but it is huge. Very big, so we'll get plenty of parking there. But yeah, that's kind of the general game plan. We'll have plenty of time to get in there, get offloaded. I'd like to be in there a little bit earlier, but we'll get in there, get offloaded, and just keep trucking on. So we'll catch you guys here in a little bit. So we just picked up our load of meats in Coldwater, and now we are on our way to Northlake, Illinois for our 10 a.m. offload. It'll be a pretty chill drive. A lot of stuff we saw earlier in the beginning of when I started doing my vlogs. So we'll be hopping on to 69, taking that down to I-80, and we'll take I-80 into possibly I think up to 94. If not, then that'll take us as far as I think Lake Station, somewhere in that area. So before we left, had a bit of an issue with paperwork where the shipper had left, or they had put an extra number onto the end of our trailer number. Well, in most cases, that's not an issue. You know, they know what the number is supposed to be, but I guess this time around they didn't want it to leave, so we had to turn back around, go back into the facility, go back into shipping and receiving, and get all new bills printed. Well, luckily, I thought we were gonna have to get all new bills, but luckily they just they did just a new top sheet, so made it really, really nice and easy. So yeah, like I said before, we are staying in Lake Station. We'll be down there around 7:30 Chicago time. So that'll give us a nice reset. I think we'll have about an hour drive in, give or take. Good evening, guys. We are stopped at Lake Station at the Flying J. As you can see on my face, we changed the disco lights to the purple flavor. I don't mind the blue, but purple's really nice. I like purple. Purple's pretty good. Yeah, we stopped about an hour and 41 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we can check our... Okay, so not a bad day. We did 522.5 miles tonight, or from the start of the day. We're 54 miles from our delivery in the morning, which should go pretty smooth. I think last time I was there for a couple hours, but it's all meat related, so it takes a little bit more time. Weather got really nice tonight. Absolutely lovely. It's like 53, rainy, but I'll take it because the truck got a bit dusty picking up this load. I swear, every time I try to keep this truck clean, it always gets dirty. Every single time. Within like 2 days, it's already destroyed. Always. But at least I get to enjoy it for that little bit of time when it's clean. So, yeah, we got the laptop set up so we can start catching up on videos. I got a couple I gotta work on yet. Yesterday and today is what I gotta work on, which today shouldn't take me too much time. Yesterday's gonna take me the majority of the time because I've got a lot of footage I gotta sort through and figure out what I want to put in. Today might be a little bit difficult because I know I had recorded a couple of talking topics, but we'll get it sorted out. I've got a video it's trying to upload right now. It'll be video 3. I believe the one I'm working on is video 6 or 7 right now. So I can get a bit more comfortable talking to a camera because I can see myself in the screen here, so it's a little bit easier. So I appreciate you guys sticking around today. Unfortunately, it wasn't super eventful, but very busy day, and I'll try to put in as much as I can. So you guys have a good night, and we will see you in the morning.